cold was that water?
Huh?
How cold was that water?
It was cold.
Ice bath?
That's what you get in the cold tub.
Yeah.
Hey Julio, just you guys were scoreless through the sixth inning, but you start to kind of build a rally there in the seventh, and then obviously the eighth. What's the vibe in the dugout when you guys are trailing and trying to find some offensive consistency?
I mean, we're staying in the game. I feel that's a vibe. I feel like everybody's focused in the whole game to play 9 innings, and I feel like that's what we did tonight, and that's what we're able to come out on top with a win.
Do you feel like you were able to kind of flip the pressure on them a little bit more in those innings too?
Yeah, and like we were saying throughout the whole game, even earlier, we were like on them. We just didn't get the hits like early on, but all that pressure just kept on building on, and we were able to get the hits later in the game when we needed them the most.
I mean, throughout the night, the ball was just jumping off your bat. Could you kind of tell that you were making solid contact and that something like this could end up happening?
Yeah, and like I definitely felt like I was making like good contact, but I was just trying to stay within myself and just put up a good swing at a good pitch.
You were doing early work today. Was that just normal early work, or were you trying to focus on something today? Like, did you feel out of sync or anything like that?
Just kind of going out there in the field early, kind of take it slow out there and just kind of see the ball travel. Nothing really in particular, but I definitely felt good like early on too.
Sometimes it's good, isn't it, though, to be out there when it's quiet, it's by yourself, so you and Gar and some guys just doing it instead of like the BP and everything like that.
Yeah, no, I feel like it helps. It helps a lot, just to get out there, like you said, and just kind of take it slow, take your time, take as many swings as you need, and I feel like it comes in handy.
You get into that 1-1 count. Are you sitting on a curveball in that spot there?
Not in particular. I feel like he has a really good cutter and like a really good breaking ball. So I was just kind of like trying to look for something open close in the zone, and I was lucky enough that he left that curveball. I was able to put a good swing on that.
Did you figure he wasn't probably going to give you a fastball, as the winning run?
He has cutters.
Yeah, I mean but that's moving away. It's not just you weren't going to see a four-seamer or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I was just like I said, I was trying to stay locked in, up and close.
I don't know. I know you swing hard, but it didn't look like you took like a huge hack. It looked like it was just a normal hack and got the barrel to it. I mean, did it feel that way? Did it feel just nice and easy?
Yeah, it definitely felt like that at the moment. Just like nice and easy, trying to put a good contact on the ball and just see what happens. Something cool happened.
How bad do you want moments like that? Just the opportunity to deliver, especially at home.
I feel like that's every player's dream. I feel like if you go across leagues and sports and everywhere, I feel like as a player you want to be in the batter's box in that moment. Doesn't matter what happens. Like you feel like you want those moments, but at the same time, we have 9 guys. We have 9 guys, and I feel really blessed and happy that I have other guys on the lineup that I can rely on, and that also like me want those type of situations. It just happened that today was my chance, and yeah, I feel really good about that and like about the team that we're playing.
When they asked Jordan about all the game-winning shots he hit, he always talks about all the ones he missed. What do you take away from the failures and the successes when you've been in those moments? You had a lot of them already in a young career. What do you take away from those moments? And I mean, I would imagine it's still a growth process moving forward.
And the way that I look at it, especially that, is just you either focus on the pain or focus on the lesson. I feel like you have 2 choices there, and I feel like for me, I know, let's say this year I have had a lot of lessons, and I feel that's what the things I've been trying to focus on the most. And you learn the most. You learn the most from failures. You learn the most from missing a shot, from striking out in a big situation. I feel like when you hit a home run, like, everything was good. Everything is good. You did everything you're supposed to do. There is nothing really more than like feeling grateful for the opportunity. But when you fail and like you go through tough times, that's where all the lessons come from. If you really stay close to that and don't really shy away from it and trying to hide it, like, okay, you fail, okay, but now what can you do for next time to get better? Doesn't mean that next day is gonna get better, but it means that you learn something that day. That's gonna carry on for the rest of your career and things like that, and that's what I think about it.
What have you learned the most in all these lessons so far?
I mean, so much about baseball, about, so much, just so much about baseball, about myself, about how I do things, how I want to improve all the areas of myself, and just kind of keep on growing, I feel like I even forget myself that I'm 23 years old, and I feel like I gotta keep reminding myself and keeping my eyes open, keeping my ears open, and just kind of paying attention and soaking in all in around me.
How have you learned to process it and kind of balance it as well? Because there are some days where you're hard on yourself, like in Pittsburgh, and other days where you kind of flush it off. And just how have you kind of learned to balance the emotions of not being too high and not being too low in these moments?
I feel like throughout, I'm a very even keeled person. I'm doing what I love. I've been playing baseball since I was a kid. It's just sometimes there's more emotion to it than other days, and I feel like sometimes it takes a little bit longer than just kind of going up the stairs and just sitting in my locker room and just kind of chill there. It takes a little bit doing a workout and getting high and yell and all those things. I feel like it just depends on the moment. I feel like I react and like kind of see how I process it out.
The crowd was really didn't have a lot to cheer about earlier, but as soon as those first two runs come out, they're loud, they're into it. How much did it mean to you to give them a big moment at the end there?
I mean, I love that. I love every time they're engaged. I love every time that we're able to do something. I feel like just the energy in the whole ballpark just changes, and that's something that as a player you love. You love and getting the fans engaged every time they yell your name, and I feel like that's why we want to obviously do good when we're at home, just to kind of feel that energy and the way that they bring it for us every single night.
What energy does Victor give you when you're watching him? You're standing right there.
I mean,
he's in the dirt nonstop.
I mean, if he dances, you want to dance, so that's kind of the type of guy that he is. He just always in that happy vibe, trying to compete, doing the best that he can, and I feel that rub off in like a lot of us, and I'm happy that he's on our side and in the way that he just does everything. He's himself out there, and I feel like that's something that we can all keep learning a little bit more.
Where does tonight's bat flip rank in your personal hierarchy?
It was fun. That's all I gotta say. It was fun. I enjoyed that one, and I feel really good about that one.
Hey, games are getting tight towards the end. I mean, do you guys got the run in you? Do you feel like you guys can do this?
I mean, if you don't believe, why are you in here? That's kind of our mentality. I feel like we gotta believe in yourself. And we believe in ourselves, like we're gonna do the best that we can with each and every single game that we have down the road. And at the end of the day, God will know what happens,
All right. Thanks, man.
Julio.
You don't want to do so much media. You have to stop.